What's up, you guys? This is your boy Miguel giving you your daily dose of radiation. In today's video, we'll cover how much knowledge from Xray school is actually applied towards your day-to-day working as an actual tech. So, once again, it's kind of a disclaimer because it all depends on where you work and their protocols and your school, because yes, from what I've gathered of being a student and picking at other, well, I'm certified now, I'm Xray tech, but when I was a student, I'm picking at all the techs who came from different colleges, and they would tell me all the stuff they learned, like some of the stuff they learned and the way they learned it, and like, yes, all the Xray school gives you the general gist of the knowledge you need, and they may focus on different things a little bit more, or some just completely random stuff that I didn't even learn, different stuff that they think, I guess, that'll help you prepared for ultimately pass the board. That's their main goal. From my experience, this is gonna sound kind of mean, but literally only the first semester of positioning, that one I would say accumulates like 80% of your knowledge to do your job, and then later on with the exposure, learning how that stuff works, and your whole SID and other stuff, you gauge of spread of radiation, other stuff like that, because technique and exposure are both important. Those are the two like big ones that will get you, how to do your job and stuff. Those are like the two biggest chunks. And then what other one? And then like patient transfer, positioning, and how to think out of the box when transferring patients, or how to perform with people in ICU who have a bunch of cables, and how to work around that. That was another one that kind of helped, but it all depends how much stuff the people have. That was a big one that helped a lot. Just basic communications amongst the patients and stuff, because you have to know the medical lingo, and then you have to be able to basically talk normal medical talk to people, explaining them what you're trying to do, and that you use your fancy Xray words to convey to them to help you position. So that's something I would say was very important, because other stuff is just mainly for the board. Like, there's a bunch of, like, the circuit board. I ain't never gonna use the circuit board, like all the stuff of the circuit board, of the physics. Like, I'm never gonna use that for my job. Now, granted, I may have to learn how my Xray board cassette learns, like how to take off the battery, how to reset it, like type stuff like that to do my job. But like, as far as how it works, nah. You ain't never gonna be sitting there and like, no, never. Now, you may get questioned by little kids how Xray works, and then you have to use basic terminology about atoms and like about little stuff like that, explain it to them. But I don't think I've ever had to hit someone with the physics stuff. But there, as one time, it's a random fact, I had an Xray dude from the show Big Bang, the Sheldon dude, who was a theoretic physicist, one of those, and he schooled me. He was like, "Oh, I know how the Xray board machine. Do you?" And I was like, "Yes, sir, I do." And he dropped some facts, and I was like, "Bro, that's straight out of my textbook. Like, I remember that." And he was telling me all this stuff. I'm like, "Yep, it's like my teacher telling me." I was like, "Some smart stuff. That's true." is factual. It's pretty funny. But for the most part, mainly just how to position, how to expose, how to, talk with patients, understand, what they're going through, and adjusting your protocol. A lot of stuff that comes with time and speed and efficiency, because when you're in school, you're just kind of doing walkie-talkie patients, other techs who are trying to be techs. It's kind of like you don't have those situations when a patient's like forearm is broken and you're like, alright, how we gonna do this, boys? Like, it's never like just random scenarios that school doesn't prepare you for. It's just kind of, but for the most part, it's mainly positioning, exposure, transform, all the stuff that's like basic, like you would think, like the most basic. Any person would be like, okay, X-ray, what is it? Kind of that kind of knowledge you would have to know to do your job. Like, most of it's just prepared for board, sadly. From even I've explained it to some of my relatives, and it's mind-boggling because my lady's a nurse, and I'll talk to her about our program and stuff, and we'll compare programs, because there's a point where she was still going through her school, and I was before X-ray school, and I would ask her stuff, and then once I graduated, and then I told her, and she's like, nah, Miguel, we had to learn more stuff that was actually useful in our field, because there's so much, because nursing is like, that's a way more different, it's a different ballgame, all the different stuff you gotta learn and stuff like that, so it's kind of iffy. They have to learn way more to be on top of it compared to us. And I guess all the floral stuff that will be also radiation safety and there's other things like that, but for the general sense, I explained to you. But yeah, it's been your boy Miguel. Hope you enjoyed your daily dose of radiation. See you on the next one.